Hey there, Stationeers, welcome back to Europa. No more shenanigans today. We are dealing with more shoots yet again. I want to put down 2 more deep drills and give you a quick update on how everything's going. So we have managed to smelt everything inside of these 2 drums. It looks like one furnace can just about keep up with 2 of these centrifuges, but I do want to build a combustion centrifuge. Small problem though, we're completely out of steel, like flat out, and we're almost out of Invar and Constantin, but now we basically have like infinite resources, so making more of that should not be a problem. I want to weld up these deep drills before that storm hits that's on the horizon. And then after we've got all that sorted, we can start talking about the comments. Okay, very nice. I then want to set up the silo as well. Alright, then I think I want the silo right over here. We're going to weld in these 10 sheets. Then we need to go get the plastic ones and then the cable coil. Okay, perfect. There we go. So the ores are going to come in the top. They're going to be then fed out the bottom. What we're going to do is reorganize all of this so that the splitters are on this end, or rather like snaking it like that way, and then we can run the main ore line back through and out. In fact, I'm going to get that set up right now. And also, of course, because we don't want the deep drill goop mixing up with the rest of the goop, you know, that we produce from like the recycler and stuff, we're going to need to pull this apart and attach this to the centrifuges directly. We are going to get onto the combustion centrifuge. That was one of the comments that was made quite a few times now, actually. I am 100% on board with doing that. It's just a matter of priority, right? Like, it's not my top priority right now, to be completely honest. I think I'm focused more on getting things functional, and then we'll worry about getting them fast. But yeah. But as you can see over here, we are going to be working on the fuel lines today, and once we got a fuel setup done, then a combustion centrifuge becomes very viable. Ah, snap, got caught in the storm. Okay, I was told that all I need to do for this is just to push my thrust up, and I should be able to move around, at least on Europa. And it looks like, yes indeed, that is working, but we should definitely land here. And head on inside. And as you can see, these things are processing away happily. Oh yeah, but this is just unfortunately not able to keep up, like, at all. Let's have a quick look here at this machine. Okay, well, all the coal's been pushed up over here for us. That's nice. Convenient. Might as well pick that up. We can burn it up later. But yeah, that's something else we're going to want to do today. We're doing fuels today, so we're going to make sure that the coal is routed over towards the generator, as well as into a silo or maybe a stacker of its own, so that we can use it for steel and stuff. And then we're going to try and be running on a gas generator from this point onwards, I think. Wind power to top up the batteries, and then a gas generator to make up the difference. I've also gone ahead and added names for each of our sorters here, and then of course other is currently just silicon. Eventually it will just be silicon, but we need to, have others, other sorters and things to make that, more guaranteed. We are currently sitting on 409 iron, 268 copper, 123 gold, 137 nickel, 265 silver, and 210 lead. And considering I didn't mine any of that myself, I'm pretty happy. I also put down this little sorter right over here. The entire purpose of this thing is for us to, if I just zero that out, the entire purpose of this thing is like, let's say I want to make some steel. I know I want 50 iron, right? So we can just go ahead and set that up, turn it on. Let's take out the iron from here. Grab that, and then all I need to do is throw it in there, and it'll give me a bunch of 50 iron stacks. Just like that. Perfect. And then there'll be some change inside, I believe. We don't have to do all of it. We can put those away. But let's say, for example, I want to do a batch of, I don't know, 400 steel, right? That would need to be 300 iron plus 100 hydrocarbon, 100 coal. So what we can do is this. We pull it through one more time. We close that off, and I can say, you know what, I want very specifically 300 iron. Click confirm. Put that through. Voila, and I've got a stack of 300, and then the excess we could just throw back into the sorter. It's a pretty nifty system, I think. So then really quickly over here, let's do a quick steel smelt, old-fashioned. We're going to grab 50, 100 hydrocarbon, and then we have our 300 iron already. Oh, and I think there's some reagent mix in here. Yeah, whoopsie. So there is our 100 hydrocarbon. We throw in the iron. And very shortly, we're going to have 400 more steel. Oh man, these stackers they're going to make life a lot easier. We've also got like a ton of iron and stuff just sitting in here. Oh, we have managed to empty out this machine. And we are slowly clearing through the crew. Maybe we don't need any more out of there. Maybe we don't. I think that's working. It just needs to keep running. That's a bit of a shame because I printed out all the components to make 2 more sets of these. I guess that wasn't necessary after all. Okay, the iron ingot has processed. What's the problem? You're not hot enough, are you? Give me some more volatiles. And voila, we have steel. Okay, cool. And then while we're at it, let's just run that through as well. Give me my extra 1 point. Perfection. And you know what? Let's do all of these old reagents here, the electrum, the invar, the constantin, all the stuff that hasn't had a chance to do it yet. Ah shit, I just combined those, didn't I? Yep. Yep. That's my bad. Alright, let's fire up these machines. Let's get them all drilling, and let's get everybody back under production, because I think what also is not helping, right, is, although, yeah, we have managed to clear out all the ores from these machines. Okay, we definitely only need 1 smelter. I guess if it's just running constantly, it's doing enough. That's very fine with me. Also a few grams of electrum just kind of floating around in there, but can't do much about that just yet. What we need to do now is get these deep drills back underway. And yeah, I think it is going to be necessary for us to switch these over to combustion furnace to really speed through. But for now, I'm willing to do it, you know, this way. Just nice and basic, nice and simple. Alright, let's run some more chutes. All the machines are going in here, so they all come together. They collect up into this junction. We can add more down that way. And then they get put through the stacker, which is just stacking them up to 50. And then they're going to go in here. This thing can store 600 items. So that could either be 600 stacks of 10 or 600 stacks of 50. It won't stack them itself. So that's the way that's done. And right now we can see that there's nothing in there. We turn it on and we open that. It would just let them out as needed. So let's go ahead and plumb this up. Alrighty, and then we're basically going to do what we just did before. Except this time we're going that way, I think. I need the right-hand one, I think. Yeah, there we go. Except this time we're going this way. And we're going to make sure the ratio is 3 to 1. Perfect. And let's just plug that in. Just like so. And then I believe, once enough of these machines output stuff, what have we got in here? 20 dirty ore. We'll see what happens in a second. I'm very curious. If we want this to be 3 to 1, it needs to be that way. Yeah, there we go. 3 go that way, 1 goes that way. And then, yep, 2 go that way, 1 goes that way. Flip-flop in 2. Perfect. If we have a combustion centrifuge, we could probably pull all this up, which would be a big resource save. Alright, then we need to move this bad boy over. He is not currently in the right place. I would cut that up, but it's going to stop. It's going to interrupt my drills, and I don't want to do that. The recycler now needs to feed in to behind this line, as does my, like, throwaway hand, you know, the thing where I kind of just turf. And I think we can run a line right through there, which is the way we're going to want to do this. So we're going to want to run it... Oh, I guess we'll go this way. Yeah, throw things in. It's a bit cramped. Let's move it up one. Do it there. There you go. That's nice. Oh, perfect. We had exactly as many chutes as we needed. Very nice. Oh, actually, that's not true because I need to I need to put in my my throwaway segment, which will stick, I guess, over here. So we're gonna want a junction over here. I really wish those things stacked to more, just like in the base game, without having to mod it. Okay, there, and then we're just gonna do the little throw-in bit that we had before. Inlets, and why don't we just do it right over there? Perfect. Okay, very nice. So now we have, yes, we have 1 full stack in there. So if I just leave this open, bloop, we should see it go through to someone, I'm guessing. Ah, it went in this way. Very nice. So someone... Oh, they're still processing their other stacks, I suppose. It'll be a while till we see it, but that is working. Okay, very nice. So now we can just leave that door open, I suppose, and it'll back up as needed. Okay, awesome. This is a much more long-term, robust system, and I think maybe we could have like up to 8 drills running like this, if we could support the power. Which right now, I don't know if we could. We're currently at 2.6, let's say 2.7 kilowatts. We would have to run this directly off the main batteries, not off this APC. if we wanted to expand that any further, but you know what, that's okay. That's something we could do. Also, if we move this over to a combustion centrifuge, we won't have the power draw from these bad boys. Yeah, we need to deal with this at some point as well, but those are problems for future me. I'm also thinking now that since I want to do the fuel generation and a fuel generator, this would actually be a much better place to build our fuel lines, right? Our fuel tanks, our fuel reserves, all that sort of stuff. We get another pair of stairs coming down here. We get over the wind turbines. We can do our rocket launches over there. I think that's a better idea. And then we can reuse all this space for resource processing, kind of like we've been doing now. I think that's a better idea. And that way, if we do want to run a gas generator, we can plug it into our main line without having to move all that. Or run like an insanely long pipe, which would increase the pressure significantly. But yeah, so our problem now is not the processing speed on the end of the line. The processing speed at the end of the line is fine. We need more centrifuges or better centrifuges to keep this puppy counting the way we want him to. And yeah, we definitely want a lot more deep drills at some point. But what we want to do more than anything else right now is recycle up all this. Here it goes. And let's run that through again as well. And you know what? Now that we've actually got lead and nickel in the storage system, why don't we just smelt it up here? Right? Like let's just send that into the system, into the network, and that can just get processed down into the rest of our storage. Ah, awesome. Clears up a bit of space in here too. Oh, whoops, and I had been sending all the 50 stack ores into this machine. That's my bad. They've now been correct. It was like this. It needs to be like this. There we go. And now it's going to filter them down the line. Yeah. Oh, look. The concentrate ended up over there. How fun. We will still find a use for this space. In fact, it might still end up being the rocket silo. But for now, yeah, I'm going to build out a little room in there. Okay, cool. Let me go print the parts I need for that. That's a nice big platform to work with. And now we need to start laying down some pipe, quite literally. That's not a euphemism. Okay, so the basics of fuel mixing are pretty straightforward. We're going to need tanks, we're going to need ice crushers, and yes, we're going to be doing this with ice to start with. We do have European atmosphere, rather, which is going to work just fine for oxygen, but for the volatiles we are going to have to do it the old-fashioned way, unfortunately. And let's just grab another battery real quick over there. And I think that's okay. I've been saving up a lot, and we can get these pretty easily with a quick trip outside. We could also use nitrous oxide. Apparently, it gives a lot more kick for the same amount of fuel spent, which is very enticing. But for now, I'm just going to set up 2 ice crushers. We can add nitrous to the system later, and we can just run like dirty fuel, right? I really don't care about like making sure this is a pure O2 H2 mixture. What matters to me is that this, turns on. Okay. So we're going to run one of these over here and another one right over there. And I think I need iron sheets to weld this thing up, which I did not bring with me. Give me a second. We're also going to need volume pumps. There we go. And then just a couple cable coils to finish it off. Perfect. Alright, very nice. I'm once again probably going to put this on its own APC. You know how much I love to do that. It's super overkill and probably horrendous for lag late game, but yeah, I don't care. It's funny. Let's move this down here. Perfection. These are going to be our volume pumps, which are going to drag away all the gases we mix in. Then we're going to want our 2 tanks, and I think we're going to do it as straightforward as it gets. We'll do tank 1. We'll save 1 space for nitrogen in the future, so for nitrous. So let's do 1 there, sure, and the other there. This one can feed straight in. Whatever this gas is going to be, we'll spray paint everything shortly to denote things a bit more clearly. Don't you worry. And we'll put like pipe valves and all that on here as well. This is just getting us started. Okay, very nice. There's our 2 tanks. One will be oxygen, one will be volatiles. Then we're going to want to gas mix them, right? Which we're going to be doing right over here in mid-air, as is tradition. And I think we'll do it just like that. That looks fine. And then we've got to plumb these together. And it's going to be a 66-33 split, H2O. That's what we're making. Oopsie. You got to move forward a bit, bud. And where is the other one going to go? It's going to go like that. And then it'll be like that. And one of these. Perfect. Voila. And then the mixed gas comes out the top, and that's what we run into our fuel generators and other such things. We definitely do not want to store gas as a mixture, because it will explode, given the first opportunity. So we could just run, run the generator right now, if we wanted to, but I think I'm going to put that, I don't know, we'll put that like over here, and we'll straight up just vent the exhaust into the world, because we're monsters. And I think we'll do it like so. Just over there. Ah, it's perfect. Let's have a look here. What was it saying? It requires an atmosphere of between 278 and 238k. So what's that? Between 0 and 50? So we've got 150 C to go? No problem. Oh, although to be fair, these ices come out like just below 0, so it shouldn't be too hard to push that up. Alright, I need more steel frames, and I need to run cable coils everywhere. Not steel frames, sorry, I need more insulated pipes. I must say, it is kind of nice getting into the mid-game here, because we have so much more space to do stuff than we did last time. Like, it was so cramped before, and now it's just so easy to do everything. Plus, not having to constantly go mining is also very nice. It's very nice. Would recommend. 10 out of 10. Now I'm thinking, I actually kind of want to take this off the APC, and just let that run on the batteries. If we want to turn it off, we can just cut the wire, right? Or turn the machines off themselves. I think let's do that. Perfect. There you go. Get back up to speed. Because, I mean, that's gonna overcharge at some point anyway, so we might as well just get around the issue and just put it on the mega network. Okay, perfect. So now we can turn all this on. And that looks like it's working. Now I'm happy. And we don't need this one here anymore, because this does absolutely nothing that one doesn't do. And then... Oh, actually, no, that's not true, is it? Because that's the production side. And then, yeah, we got this one here for the batteries on the consumption side. I'm going to put that back where it was. I think that's fine. That's where we can check how much is being consumed out here. 5 kilowatts right now. That's the entirety of the battery output, is 5 kilowatts. And then you guys can get your own meter as well. And you're 220 watts idle. With that thing on, 320. That's not insignificant. That's like a little wind turbine at full speed. And let's push these volume pumps all the way up. 100 liters per second. I think that's what that stands. Or meets. It might be per minute. I'm not sure. Let's get some spray paint and let's get some ice through these things. We'll worry about mixing them later. Okie dokes. We haven't set up the ratios yet, but we might as well just do oxygen on this side, so this will all be white. And then we'll do volatiles on the other, right? OH2. That's definitely the most memorable way to do this. This is certainly backwards, no doubt in my mind. Okay, oxygen and hydrogen, and I'm glad I printed another spray paint tank. That was a little close. And then whatever comes out the top is going to be fuel mixture. Yes, yes. Honestly, this should be orange, but I think for now, we'll call that good enough. Let's go ahead and pump it. And you know what? Honestly, just give me my iron back. Thank you. I think as long as there's a little piece left, you get the full refund, which is quite nice. Alright, volatiles, get processed. And honestly, the reason why I'm using ice for the oxide and not just the atmosphere is straight up just because it comes out warmer. I think it comes out at like negative 4 or 5 rather than negative 148. So yeah, you can imagine that it's slightly easier to get it up to the temperature you're looking for. And let's do a quick spot check. So we are currently at almost 1 megapascal of oxygen, a little bit of nitrogen mixed in there, and this is just pure volatiles. Almost 2 megapascals. Very good. Very good. And temperature is the most important part here. It is actually above freezing, you will note. Haha. Okay, that means that it is ready to combust as soon as we mix it in the pipe. But definitely do not add that. That tank will explode. Whew, I need like a fail-safe, man. I need like a wall between these two, so I don't accidentally click it through. And we probably will want pi t to peters on this eventually. I'm not going to stress it for now, though. Okay, here we go. We got all the pieces we need to color that orange. Oh, I really hate the way that looks. Wow. And now we're going to run our pipes all the way. I should turn my stabilizer back on. We're going to run our pipes all the way back here. This is the output, right? Yep. Let's just go ahead and stick a vent there. Sure. Wherever it fits. And then you will... Oh, I'm going to have to move this thing forward, aren't I? Yep. Now, for the moment, we will just run this thing manually, but we can set it up as a backup generator. So what we can do is we can read from the batteries for when they're low, and then when they reach a certain threshold, we can flick this thing on. It's quite difficult to do with logic, as far as I'm aware, so I think we might just have to find some IC circuit scripts to work with that. But for now, it's fine. We're going to warm up Europa by introducing some greenhouse gases. And I think we're ready to rock here. Let's just go ahead and plumb this thing in. Oh, I do want to put some pipe analyzers into this network, though. So I can actually see what the heck's going on in each of these. Okay, cool. So this thing is plugged in. I'm very interested to see what happens once we get the mixtures just right. So we want this to be, specifically... Okay, so we want this to very specifically be, if I can just check which input is which. There's input 2. Okay, so we want 2 to 1, so 66 to 33. So, input 2, no, we want the other way. We want input 1, I can just set this with the labeler. Input 1 we want to be 66, and that should adjust the other to 34. So it's not going to be a perfect mixture, but we're also not going to have a perfect ratio. In fact, because we're going to have 10% nitrogen, we're going to want 10% more oxygen. So instead of 34, we want it to be 37, so this should be 63. I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense. And then all the uncombusted junk will just vent out the back, I'm hoping. Alright, so let's see if this explodes. Currently, nothing in there. I'm going to hit a quick save. Perfect. Currently, nothing inside. Let's turn this on. It is not exploding. Currently, not exploding. I repeat, no explosions reported. Pipe network is at 2 megapascals. Let's turn this thing on. And it's already used it all. It's used none. It has used nothing. What's the problem? It's too cold. Okay, well, 8 megapascals of pressures. That's plenty. That's plenty. Trust me. Trust me, that's more than enough. If this thing spontaneously combusts, we're in trouble. So it's like 4 degrees too low. So we need like 5C. Alright, pipe heater it is. We probably want some logic on here to just test the pipe, see the temperature, and then it maintains it around the 5 degrees we want. Which I'm hoping will be low enough to not cause auto-ignition. I don't actually know what the auto-ignition threshold is. I'm sure someone in the comments can tell me.
Okay, so we got the temperature we need. It's at 278K, but with the pressure is way too high. It's at 8 megapascals, and we need it to be at 20 kilopascals. That's a big difference. So I'm going to rip these out and move them up 1, and then we'll actually up 2, and we can put a pressure regulator and another pipe segment over here. Okay, so pressure regulator over here. We'll give that a spray, and that's going to do exactly what we want it to. That's going to... what does this thing accept? 20 kilopascals? Okay, cool. So that's all we allow through. Alright, so we should see this is sitting at a comfy 20 kilopascals, and now we can turn this on. No. Okay, after some digging around on the wiki, this is not particularly clear what it's saying. This only works inside a room. This needs to have an atmosphere of its own. Which means that if we want to use the gas fuel generator, we're going to have to build a little enclosure for it. So for now, I'm going to turn this off. But that is something we can do in the future. We have to build it a little room. I don't know if it'll allow us to build a room over here with these wind turbines. Although they don't actually have as big a hitbox as I remember. Maybe we might have to move it up a bit. But yeah, we'll have to build a little enclosure for this that is cooled. If we want to run this, which is actually a lot more involved than I was expecting. But that's okay. We'll leave that there as a relic of our failures. But we now have fuel gas mixture. That works perfectly. Okay, now it's time to deal with this. And in order to do that, we're going to need some more of these silos. So I printed up 3. We're going to put one for each uranium, cobalt, and coal. And I'm hoping, I'm praying, that that's going to be enough to just kind of stop this happening, right? For now, we'll just store it, we'll run it through stackers, and then we can run them down where they're needed. Like, we'll bring the coal over here, and we can funnel the cobalt and stuff as it's needed to our furnaces. I think the furnaces will be manually operated. I don't think I'm ever going to fully automate those. It is possible, but it is very involved. And I don't honestly have the patience. We're also going to need that computer, so let's go get that. Alright, the previous computer space has been taken up, so we'll just put it over there instead. Let's get this sorted like so, and then we just need a screwdriver, of course. And then we've got to wire this thing in. Alright, so the plan is that we're going to do the filtering much like we've done it elsewhere. I am going to move it forward one, just so we can have a clear split. So this will be for, I guess we'll do coal, and then we'll do cobalt, and then uranium, and then other. Actually, I suppose we don't need one for other, now that I think about it, because that's just going to get, that's just going to get pulled out. Okay, cool. Because whatever comes out of this output slot is the other that we can just, we'll funnel that somewhere else. That's going to be all our reagents that we don't have much use for. Those can get dropped into a pen. Okay, let's check if this works. So we have set up the filters. Uranium should pop out this one. Ah, no, well, never mind. It is not good. I haven't set up the chutes. Okay, set up the chutes, and then we try that again. Okay, let's try this. So we throw in the uranium. It should pop out the back end. And it is indeed working. Okay, nice. Alright, then we need to set up the silos, right? So silo number 1 is going to come over here. Just like so. So we want to make sure the input's on the top. And we want that to line up dead center with this. So that should work. Give it some space. Then you're next. Okay, then 10 steel sheets each. A little pricey, but there we go. And I think I did just trap some coal in there for eternity, but yeah, c'est la vie. And finally, some wires. And it all comes out. Okay, excellent. Then we need to run these things into stackers. So that we have control over... We want stacks of 50, and no more, no less. And I need another stacker. Whoops. Do I not have one in this cupboard? Nope. Okay, back inside we go. Oh shit, I have a feeling I'm going to see, yep, a lot of chutes. Okay, well this is what 500 iron looks like, by the way, if you're ever wondering. Okay, cool, stack is set up, and now that's all working. We can get it plumbed into this bad boy. Okay, very nice, cool. We are now stacking cobalt, coal, and uranium. How valuable was this to do? Yeah, I'll leave that up to you. But it's certainly fun to get it done. So now we can start piling all these in and feeding them back into the sorter network. We can now get all of our other ores as well and let those run through. Oh man, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. And then reagents are just going to get thrown out the side. And we'll eventually want to put them inside a furnace or something so that they get resmelted. But that is a pipe dream for the moment. I think all I'm going to do for now is just pick up some of these railings that we can recycle. And we're just going to pen this thing in. So if it wants to come out there, we're just going to pen it in here. That's where our reagent mix will get stuck. They'll just get piled up in there. That works for me. Alright, well, unfortunately we didn't really get to everything I wanted to do today, but let's go have an overview of what we did do. We have finished our fuel mixing setup. This is functional, even if this part doesn't work, because I completely misunderstood how the fuel generator's tooltip explained its information. That one's on me, I guess. Then over here, we have successfully sorted out coal, uranium, and cobalt stacking automation, which is awesome. And then let's not forget that last time we did the mega episode, which was sorting out all of this sorting for the various ingots. Oh, and that was a big victory, let's be honest. So I'm pretty happy with where we are. I'm sure there'll be lots of comments for me to address. We want to get onto the combustion furnace first thing next time, I think. And so we can really speed up our processing. And then we might need to add even more smelters, because I have a feeling that while this one can just about keep up, it's not going to be able to keep up with a whole combustion furnace, because that will process all of this backlog very quickly. I think one combustion furnace can run like 8 drills, maybe 9 at a push, which is pretty crazy and something I'm very willing to go for. but we've basically got infinite resources as it is. So that's something we'll put on the back burner. We've been doing this project for like 5 episodes now. I think it's time we pivoted back to doing some more base, less base upgrades and more progression with our goals. Start moving towards the advanced furnace. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching. That is all I have time for today. I'm going to filter through all of these ore stacks, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers. And of course, a huge thank you to our channel members and patrons for this month. Couch Potato, The Senate, Kelly Ananas, Call Me Bo 82, Riley David, LCG Canyon Sahar, Knee Cruncher, Old Man Tater, Frickin' Friendly Beaver, Not K Arthur, Cut Beef Go Ham, Jack Smallman, Rivo, Adachi, I'm Alpha, King, Alan Osella Chair, Sella Hair, Ragnar Skull Crew, Raija, Rob, Depoyo 44, Pratham Parush, Sleep Deprived Sam, Badass Beast, Charlie Weber, Mermix, Mo Romans, Officer C4, Yan the Pan, Pyro, Kilithaza, Eve Roxanne, Kodiak, Dimitri Liako, CCMD, Wedgie FRG, Lunar Shots, Darky, Hedrick Ebert, Black Omega 9, The Emperor, Dennis Feros, Big Bird 18th, Josh Thompson, Chad Farista, Mermix 42, and Millennium Dawn. You guys all rock.